All right. So I had to come on back because I want to discuss something. So I had to get on live and I had to come on back because one thing that's disturbing me lately is one thing I want to discuss is conversations versus discussions. Just like this platform right here. I don't have any callers. I don't have anybody here with me. So this is just me putting my words in. And I really hope you respectfully listen to what I have to say because that's what you should do. That's what's proper. And lately, I've been watching congressional discussions and congressional debates based on proposals and based on opinions that need to be given about the mandate and about other things that are going on. The securities of the country and stuff like that. And it's clear that a lot of people in Congress don't necessarily like each other as friends. They don't really like each other as friends and family, but they respect each other as colleagues. So when you listen to the people in Congress talk, they got time limit, to prevent argument and to prevent um, unwarranted debate. So what happens is you'll be listening to the Congress. They give 5 minutes to a Republican, and then 5 minutes to another Republican, and then they'll give the time to the Democrat, and then 5 minutes to the next Democrat, so on and so forth, until they have a compilation of everybody's opinion and everybody's position before they determine a vote. Before they even take a vote, they take a concession to where if the vote that's about to be taken is even worth voting for. When laws are enacted, especially like the mandate that just took place, which is an executive order, the same way the Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order. And states don't have to recognize an executive order if it's not passed by Congress. And Congress has not accepted the mandate in totality. Congress is up in debate right now about the mandate in its totality. So the executive order, though the president may have said what he wants you to do, it's not necessarily the law yet because Congress is not going to enforce it yet. You know, the topic of today is discussion and having a conversation and being able to talk to people and go back and forth. And I think original people, black people in particular, who are affected by slavery, have a hard time establishing conversations and discussions about solutions to the problems that we have as a collective. Many of us don't even feel like we have problems as a collective. Many of us feel like, the majority of the problem was solved. But the thing is, when we say something, we have to expect the reply and we have to respect the reply. We have to respect it. Maybe not expect it, but we definitely have to respect the reply or the opinion of another person. And for some reason, black people know that other black people don't have power. So when we don't agree with one another, sometimes some people will become hostile or become offended or become defensive because they feel attacked by somebody that may look like them, even though it's not an attack, it's just an open discussion, especially on a place like public social media where a platform for you to share your opinion may be contradicted or challenged by another person who's in your friend list or on your followers list or whatever. And when somebody says something to you, this is where you feel most empowered to go big. But it's not necessary to go big. If you knew me, you wouldn't go big on me, or you might. But it's not necessary to go big on one another on basic internet platform. Like when one person says another thing, black people highlight it, or the shade room, or somebody highlights it and says like, oh, look at this person going big on this other person. And then you'll see like somebody basically trolling, get trolled, and then somebody responds back, and now it's a big thing. But it's like, because it takes no response. The internet is the internet. Oh yeah, in the background, we got the Fresh 15 tapping in on Instagram, commenting on my books. Yeah, I got When the World Was Black. I got From Poverty to Power, When the World Was Black. Chronology of African American history. I got The World's Greatest Men of Color, The Art of War, the Quran. I got a uniform commercial code book in there. I got Hood Health Handbook in there. I got the Elegant Universe in there. I got Rich Kid, Poor Dad, Black God. I got a lot of books. It's just a few I put up for display. But at the same time, it's a healthy display. It's a display of some shit that if y'all don't really know about, this type of books you need to have in your house. It's enough of that encyclopedia in the Bible. Our people got the encyclopedia in the Bible. Some magazine, Sports Illustrated. Anyways, we just greeted my man's Fresh. Back to the topic at hand about how, how original people don't have conversations. Which is why, as 5%ers, when we build, we got a law, and the law is what? Number one. Number one is knowledge. And the law, supreme law of the universe, is first you got to do the knowledge. So, if we take a step back and look at Congress, they exercise supreme mathematics in the chambers of their delegation, the chambers of their authority amongst one another. They deal with equality. When one person is speaking, they give them the floor and everybody is quiet. Nobody's talking. When they get on the internet, they say what they say. Nobody bickers and badgers, and that's why they was mad at Trump for that type of stuff. But the thing is, when you get on Forbes link on YouTube and you watch these videos of Congress talking about this vaccine and talking about immigration, they don't bring you and me up. I just, I want y'all to realize the scope of what's going on, because it's to the point where, healthy conversations are too far in between, too far away from each other. Like, why is it that if you say something online and I say something, you offended by it? It's the internet. How is you offended by anything another person has to say? So then, in real life, brothers is offended by what you have to tell them, to the point that they act like you don't exist. Like some of us who may have seen Islam, or who seen, God in the name of Allah as a better route for ourselves. And then the Christians in our family looking down on that. For years, they look down on that until something great happens, where they see the benefit that you've the tenfold benefit that you've benefited off of. They could see the growth and development in you, and how you started to think sharper and better for yourself as a man. And that's the only way they're going to respect the results anyway. So, at this point, I'm calling for a group of people, that'll come and watch my thing and tap on, and we could just have regular conversations that we discuss things like the vaccine, However, we need to be the representatives of the people. See, many will come and few will be chosen, and the chosen few will choose themselves. Therefore, nobody's going to determine when we stand up and play a political position. No politics without commerce, no politics without economy. So there's no economy without conversation. Okay, I'm going to Claude Anderson now with a little bit of Neely Fuller. You know what I'm saying? Because Neely Fuller said just don't even talk to each other. Neely Fuller said to not even have a conversation with another black person or another person of color. Don't even talk because it's nothing to talk about. You want to talk about the game. You want to talk about anything except for eliminating racism. There's nothing to talk about. I don't want to talk. Now, if you want to talk, and we could talk about that. And then when we start talking about that, if we could say, if I could speak for 5 minutes, and then you could speak for 5 minutes, and then we could practice that, like shooting the ball. Eventually, we'll be used to listening to each other for at least a minimum of 5 minutes before we even talk. Because it seems like anytime you talk to an original person or a person of color, they respond before you finish saying what you have to say. These are remnants of slavery, y'all. We talking about the effect of the 10%. I'm not going to even talk about what I study. I'm going to talk about the things that I'm trying to take away that's going to stop interfering with us being able to get along with each other. You know, they know when we about to jug. They know when we thinking of a good idea because they fostering the ideas that we have. It was a point in time where we used to foster their ideas. And then the free labor thing came, slavery. And that was over agreements that our family made. Bad deals. And now we've come to the point where having a conversation with another black person is like you have to learn their language just to talk to them. And if it's millions of us in America, that means you got to learn millions of dialects because every black person speaks a different slave language, man. This shit is slavery, man. Yeah, I work every day and all that. This shit is depressing. It's fucking slavery. I own a house. I'm telling you, this shit is slavery. I don't have no, big expensive rent bills and all. Nah, man, when you a homeowner, you pay property tax. Property tax has been around for a long time. Congress has been collecting the property tax and this and that, but they only started collecting income tax in 1913 or something like that. Not too long after they ended slavery, they started collecting income tax because they knew that you and my grandparents were going to go get a job and that they didn't want you to keep all your money. So they started having a federal tax on income tax, which Caucasian Americans, white Americans see as unconstitutional from day one. Which is why there's some white Americans that have written books and went to the Supreme Court about income tax, not about property tax, about income tax. Because income tax was made for the black man. And a white man can't say in court, yo, y'all made this for the black man. So before he gets there, the court will cut him off and dismiss his case. Because they know what's about to come. He finna start using his mouth to say things that they don't want to reveal to the general population. They don't want to tell people, that 13th Amendment freed the slaves. Not really, no. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. All right, we gotta keep going over this. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. and gave Congress the power to enact and enforce the 13th Amendment, which says if you break the law, you go back into legal slavery. So therefore, Congress was the new slave owner. Then they came with the federal statutes that they carried all the way from 1793 and all the way from 1789, which was the federal statutes, and also 1793 federal slave statutes. Federal slave statutes was the Fugitive Slave Act. Okay. And they had pig laws, and they had slave codes. But let's just stay with the federal statutes and the 1793 federal statutes that they came up with different acts against black people, because they didn't come up with acts against white people. So what we dealing with is, after they came with those acts, fast forward, late 1800s, 1863, in the middle of the war, Abraham Lincoln frees the slaves. That wasn't at the beginning of the war. The war started in 1860 or 61. So in 1863, 3 years into the war, Abraham Lincoln released the Emancipation Proclamation, which was an executive order similar to the executive order, which is a mandate for you to get vaccinated. It's the same thing, which is why states didn't necessarily have to do that. The Emancipation Proclamation did not end the war. It was a proclamation in the middle of the war, and he was saying this is the only way that it's going to end. And he just free the slaves, and it wasn't no exceptions. It didn't say except in the Emancipation Proclamation. So the South wasn't going for that. They said, nah, we need a 13th Amendment, so they came with the exception in that one. And guess who owned the prison system? It was the conservatives. The conservatives were the ones that opened up the prison penitentiary systems, and the liberals were the ones that opened up the first corporations. See, liberals wanted to free the slaves, but they didn't want to let go of the labor. They wanted the labor through employment. So they came up with a way to tax our money as 14th Amendment citizens through the 15th Amendment that also gave us the right to vote. So they said, hey, they dangle the right to vote in front of you, and then you grab it, you become, because 14th Amendment citizenship was optional. Because at that time, the state you had lived in may have not been recognizing you properly. So a lot of people felt like the Fed was a better citizenship to choose from, but it wasn't. It puts you under the jurisdiction of the federal statute and of the Fugitive Slave Codes, Black Codes, Pig Laws that they confined into one thing called the Revised Statutes of the United States, 1874. And this was before they created the 14th Amendment. Then they made the 14th Amendment in 1875, which let you, a black freed slave, become a citizen, even though Abraham Lincoln already said you were a free man. So basically, you was a free man. You signed up for 14th Amendment jurisdiction. Then you signed up for the right to vote, because they wasn't going to give you that unless you was white. You signed up under the 14th Amendment. And then when you did that, they said, all right, we're going to give you the 16th Amendment, which is the Congress tax form, which is basically saying we taxing your income. And they came up with the IRC, which is the Internal Revenue Code. The U.S. Code, see, I could prove this. See, the 14th Amendment is what made you under the jurisdiction of the United States Federal Corporation, which is statutory jurisdiction. That's a federal corporation as defined by the United States Code. United States is a federal corporation. Let me pull this up for my viewers. A lot of the time, this should be hard to believe. United States, U.S. Code, definitions. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up on my screen real quick so my peoples can see it, all my viewers. You know I'm on Facebook, Live. But anyways, we're going to go down. And y'all can see it here. It says clearly, United States means a federal corporation. All right, so before we was a federal corporation, what was we? We was just a union of the states. There was no federal corporation. They created a federal corporation so that they could have a 14th Amendment citizen. Listen, man, they defined the United States as a corporation before they made the 14th Amendment. Okay, this is the U.S. Code. The U.S. Code is the revised statutes of the United States. It's the same exact thing. That's what this is. The U.S. Code is another name for it. They changed the name. So it used to be called the Federal Statutes. Then it used to be called the Revised Statutes of the United States, and now it's the United States Code. Under the United States Code, 14th Amendment citizen is under the jurisdiction of the United States Federal Corporation. What does that mean for you? Well, a corporation has bylaws, man. If you break the bylaws, you are violating the federal corporate law. Federal corporate law is something that we are not under the jurisdiction of as free men. Free men are not under the jurisdiction of nothing other than common law, admiralty, and maritime. Obligation of contracts. Look up the first federal statutes. Anyways, conversations. Why we can't have conversation? Why black people can't talk? Why we got to talk about sports? And then even if we talk about sports or music, if we talk about music or sports, you don't even want to respect the next person's opinion. You don't even want to, and that's what I'm saying. We not bad people. We have to listen to each other. I got to listen to you. You got to listen to me. A lot of the time we looking for friends. We don't have no goddamn friends. And when you remember and when you can understand that you don't have no friends, now we could grow into friends because we're not friends yet. We're not friends yet. And that's the thing. There is no love. You know, so I just wanted to tap in about conversations and discussions because it's like I could be on the internet and I have had some respectful discussions online where it looked like it was hasty, it looked like it was hot, but it was really cool. It's really cool because when scholars, you know, if we are recognizing one another as scholars, when scholars go back and forth, it may seem like an argument, but two equals could swing swords. And dealing with equality means even if somebody not your equal, to come down to lift them up. And to come down means just to be the bigger man and let them win sometimes. You got to let your own people win, except for when it's going to cost you your life or your freedom or your liberty or your property or your obligation to contract. Because just like the Constitution was written to uphold the law, and if we uphold the law, then we upholding the Constitution. Can't nobody say we not. And if we uphold it, we will be the law. Because the people that claim to be the law now are evidently not upholding it in a proper, suitable way, which is why you have so many quarrels and squabbles within Congress alone. And they don't even talk about the issues of the original man here on ground zero. It's still trash in the hood. It's still potholes everywhere. Why are we waiting on the city to fix these abandoned homes? And I mean, I'm just saying as a collective, if you want to get with me, hit me on a DM. Like and subscribe. Send me an email. You know, we're doing trash pickups. We're not just doing the podcast. We're doing trash pickups in the hood. We recruiting youngsters to come pick up trash with us at these parks. You know, and at the end of the day, don't be so hurt. You know, I was on Facebook and a sister said something. And apparently she looks like she's supposed to be family. I mean, you see I see people following her that I may know. People I may know following her, and I don't know if she friended me or I friended her, but we're friends on Facebook for some reason. And she made a post, and it wasn't a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? I didn't disagree with her. I just simply told her that her position could be shifted. Didn't tell her to shift it. I just told her position could be shifted. And if she shifted it, then she may see it the way I see it. But evidently, my opinion, it's not warranted. It's not wanted. Well, then get the fuck off the internet. Don't fucking tell me that this is your page and like this is your house, like I came into your house. Get the fuck out of here, man. Your Facebook page, make it private. And don't friend a motherfucker like me, because if you're talking stupid, I'm going to say something. If you're saying things about ignorant people who we know are ignorant, then what kind of fucking, you're not teaching nobody, just fucking, you're fucking, like Supreme Understanding said, you're trauma bonding. All you want to do is get on here and talk about your trauma. Oh, he said the B word on the rap song. Oh, he said the N word on the rap song. Oh my God, all they talk about is sex. And it's like, duh, it's the shit you need to be telling your children and your nieces and your nephews, wasting your time online telling us as if we don't know these grown-ass men is talking like this. Who cares, man? I don't care at this point. I don't care if grown men have derogatory things to say. We live in a pretty much derogatory world. If I don't like it, I ain't gonna listen to it. That's it. I'm not into me being upset about something you said. As if you have power over me to make me feel good and bad. Or I'm your popular opinion and I'm judging your hip hop. Judging your style. Get the fuck out of here. Because nobody gives a shit. You know why nobody gives a shit? Because you're not a citizen. Nobody cares because you're not a citizen. So you're on the internet going big on people, your own people at that. Going big on your own people. Oh, you're saying this and that. I'm offended. But nobody gives a shit, especially the Congress. That's not an argument you could bring to Congress. Oh, somebody online defended me. Mark Zuckerberg over there counting up the check. Get the fuck out of here. He spent $400 million on a presidential campaign. And they're saying in Congress that the money Mark Zuckerberg spent on Biden's presidential campaign was seen as, y'all got to realize that they put each other on trial all the time. It's just not for the things that you thinking. They said, man, you put $400 million up for one president. That's basically like swinging for the fence. Like, is there a cap on campaign money? Nope. So therefore, you can take as much as you want. And now they're going to say, oh, it's interference. You interfering with the presidency. How? Well, basically, you trying to make people win just for this because of the money. You're using the money to get the votes, and you're not using the policy. And that's where you going to get fucked up. That's where you should get fucked up. Trying to get votes based on your dollar and who you going to help and who you calling to vote. And you're not trying to get the vote based on the proper policy procedures that presidents been supposed to been doing for hundreds of years. Let me just say 100 years, because we ain't that far from slavery. And anybody before slavery ended was a piece of shit. Y'all could talk bad about Abe all you fucking want. Abe said free the slaves. Why? Because he's seen it as a liberal thing to do. Not as the right thing, but as a liberal thing. How can we keep these niggas for the next 400 years? That's what the hell he said. He didn't say, I should free these niggas. Nah, he didn't say that shit. Trying to figure out how we could keep these niggas. Let me tell you why. Because niggas got clumsy. Niggas wasn't as good as a workforce as you think. It was like everybody wasn't George Washington Carver. Everybody wasn't Booker T. Washington. Get the fuck out of here. It's like everybody wasn't Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman. Everybody wasn't the same. So the majority of the slaves were some fucking bootlickers, man. Just the lazy motherfuckers, man. And then when they got to work, they fuck shit up. They breaking all the dishes in the house. They fucking up the sheets in the washer. There wasn't a washing machine, so think about it. They having to wash it with their feet, and their clothes is still dirty. And they got this slave washing them. And they got Big Mama raising all the babies, and she can't control the little white wench, the little heifer that snuck out, had sex with a slave boy because she horny. This type of shit that was going on in the slave master's life that made the motherfucking liberals say, this has to stop. We got to get rid of this shit because this shit is not helping us anymore. At one point, slavery was helping us. At this point, it's going to eat us alive. So we got to get rid of the slaves. And the people that continue to act like this, they going to break the federal statutes anyway. We just put them back into jail legally enforced by Congress under the 13th Amendment, section number 2. Come on, man. You just got to do some reading. That's all you got to do is read. So what is that saying? That's saying that, motherfucker, don't be so offended on the internet by another black person having his own fucking opinion. Just like you don't want me beating down your head about how you eat pork all fucking day. Because guess what? You can eat pork and still want a bit about your freedom. Everybody not going to be like me, man. I mean, goddamn, Nat Turner was a professed Christian. Who believed in Christianity, who may have not even had another way of seeing the world, but guess what? He knew that being a slave was not the shit. It was not the business. And this is what I'm talking about. So it's like, as a black man, when you come and talk to me, I'm going to try my best to just listen. Now, if you got a long run-on sentence and they get past 5 minutes, I'm going to ask a question, I'm going to say something, but I'm going to at least give you 5 minutes. Like Congress give each other. Congress, they going to give each other them 5 minutes. Go look at Congress, how they talk. They don't interrupt, man, 5 minutes. But as soon as 5 minutes start, please yield, Senator. Senator, yield. Yield, Senator. Yield, Senator. That question is off the record. Strike that from the record. Because they like, look, man, we got rules in this bitch. Now, why we ain't got no rules? Why is that when I'm talking to a nigga on Facebook, he can't shut the fuck up for 5 minutes? Don't say the N-word. All right, let me stop saying that shit. Why when I talk to a motherfucker on Facebook, he can't just shut up for 5 minutes? Oh, why you saying motherfucker? Look, I'm going to say something. I ain't going to say it nice. Because there ain't nothing nice about this shit. It's like Christianity. He was so caught up in the Bible, he just didn't want to even talk to me. And now we could talk about things because now as men with children, he's starting to see things that the Bible just can't show you, and no church could show you. Nobody could tell you what this is. This is called manhood. This is called fatherhood. And ain't nothing gonna tell you about that except for your own experience and the people that have experienced it with you. So no matter what we believe in, we can still have a good conversation based on fatherhood. Sometimes it's just about finding the common ground. And do you know the common ground that every black person shares? The fact that we are still enslaved in the United States. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Somebody tell me I'm lying. If I got anybody here that's going to refute that, anybody that wants to say that we not, I'm all ears because I'm telling you. 13, 14, 15, 16th Amendments. Domino effect. They knocked us down. They knocked down 13 and hit the 14, hit the 15. How is it that they came up with, after 100 years of being in business, nearly 100 years, they came up with 4 new amendments, 13, 14, 15, 16, within 50 years. Within 50 years, the United States government added 4 amendments And all 4 amendments came after slavery, motherfucker. Do you know what that means? That means those amendments directly affect your life. Before that, we wasn't even counted. There we go. That's one of them. Oppression is our biggest common denominator. I mean, but not really, God. Because what about a motherfucker like Tyler Perry, Michael Jordan? Yeah, I know you categorize them. We all do. They categorize. But what about the entertainers, the rappers, the athletes, all these so-called people of color with money who are not necessarily oppressed financially? They're not necessarily oppressed financially, so therefore, where does their oppression lie? Because it is oppression. But what kind of oppression? Because everybody's not financially oppressed, God. Yeah, they never gonna have as much money as they master. That don't mean they financially oppressed. As a group, we are financially oppressed. But as individuals, all of us are not financially oppressed. So what type of oppression? I'm trying to see if I could I'm gonna put a viewer count up, man. I don't know if nobody watching, but we're gonna put one up anyway. I don't think nobody watching. But it's all peace for me. I ain't tripping off that. I just wanted to put that up to see. When people do jump into the Facebook and the YouTube, I'll be able to see them. Because this is being recorded on Pro Tools right now. You already know. Peace. Oh, so we got St. African. I hope you in to tune in right now, my brother. This is a good conversation we having. And, I opened up this conversation today about conversations. And I know you are one who has experienced the fact that people of color just don't know how to have a good conversation or a respectful conversation without arguing or without feeling offended and being defensive. He said not just financially, but psychologically as well. It takes psychologically oppressed. Yeah, but at that point, you just poor. You just a poor decision maker. Being a poor decision maker. I mean, listen, your decisions are affected by your position. Financially, mentally. But I'm not finna give a motherfucker put on a dress the same thing. You know why? Because that motherfucker's mentally dead. Mentally oppression, you can come back, man. Even psychologically oppressed. That means you held back psychologically. Yeah, we are too. Let me add my brethren on. We got St. African coming in, man. It's a good brother I've been known for a long time, man. And get him on this audio. And my man in the gym. In the gym on that treadmill. Peace to the God, man, over here. I'm doing the podcast. I'm glad you called in. Today's topic is basically just we discussing how I'm on the internet and I'll comment on somebody's thing and they get offended. But I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to let you know my position. They want to get offended and feel like this my space. This my opinion. This my page. And it's like, this is a public website and you don't own this motherfucker and you got the option to put it on private. I don't even know how we became friends, but since we are friends, since we friends on the internet, why can't I comment on nothing you got to say? Because you feel like niggas should always agree on everything. Oh, how we gonna agree on everything? Right. So now my thing is, how do we learn? Who can we could take notes. My thing is, I'll be looking at Congress, right? Congress, when they talk, they all give each other 5 minutes. And then once your 5 minutes is up, it's over. But you got 5 minutes to talk. And my thing is, listen, man, niggas need to start doing that type of shit. Like, yeah, I mean, my thing is, open conversations, we got to stop that. We got to call a meeting to have a conversation. We call a meeting just to talk. Hey, look, we ain't got to talk at all except for at the meeting. And at the meeting, when it's your turn to talk, you get 5 minutes, nigga. Because everybody got something to say. Everybody got something to say. And we got to have one topic that we talking about. You can't just say, oh, nigga, well, what about this? No. We talking about one thing. And if we can narrow a conversation down to one topic and we schedule it, we could do it on Zoom. And every person got 5 minutes to talk, and then you cut them off. And then the next person get their 5 minutes and you cut them off. Well, the thing is, it don't matter because when you get your 5 minutes, we deal with equality. I don't care if you don't even know how to talk. You got 5 minutes to try to talk. You got 5 minutes to mumble. And if we determine that what you said wasn't shit, then we gonna strike it from the record anyway. Yes, we need to hold our own court, bro. We need to hold our own congregation. That way, when we make decisions as a group, it's a real group decision. And everybody ain't going to be in that meeting. It ain't going to be millions of people. Nah, it's going to be a select group because everybody not even ready to make decisions. Right, but my thing is, everybody's welcome. Only thing that could disqualify you is that you trying to come in here and disturb it. Yeah, or you a COINTELPRO. If either one of those things could be determined, we kicking you out of the group, and that's that, because we need a real black Congress. It's not about having a seat in the United States Congress. It's about having a congressional unit. Hey, look, a vote don't matter if you only 13% of the population. Because even if 100% of y'all voted, you only getting 13%, and that means you got to side with one of these groups of white people. You either got to side with this group of white people who all own slaves or this slave owner. You got two slave owners. So the point is, a lot of people say they not giving us what we asking for. We not first on the list. Why would I fix the 13% before I fix the 87%? It's 87% other people than black. So therefore, I'm going to take care of them first before I take care of y'all anyway. Bro, we not on the list. Listen, they don't have you down as a real person, they have you down as an African American. Now let's trace that. If we trace that word backwards, and you trace it backwards, you'll find out that ain't even a person. We animals to them. And if we can't have conversations, if we can't hold meetings and start having conversations, I'm starting to see it. Motherfuckers is like animals. I said motherfuckers is like animals, man. Motherfuckers is acting like animals because dog chasing the cat all day. Yeah. So today's topic is conversations versus discussions. Because we like to talk with each other, but we never talk about shit. We the only group of people that shoot the shit. Let's shoot the shit. I'm chopping it up. I'm chopping it up. What the fuck are you talking about? You chopping what up? You feel me? What is you chop? You're not chopping shit up because you need to be chopping up racism. You got to chop up.
This is a good topic. I seen a video the other day, and it was saying black men are they useless to each other because, as you just said, when we get together, we're talking about sports, we're talking about women, or we're talking about bullshit. It's never going to happen. We come together and actually build something. So it's like when we do have a conversation, as you said, we're just fucking around.
Exactly, and then right. And then when you're not fucking around, look, we have a conversation, right, with somebody you don't know. See, the science is when you go to the Whole Food Market, you'll see two motherfucking Caucasians that don't know each other having a perfectly fine time with each other like they know each other. Because in their heart, they know each other. They like, this is a white man. I know my fellow white man. Now, when we see each other, we don't see each other as the same. The movement you on, because me and you, we teach a little different, like similar but different. Okay? Now, listen, let's say I was in your group and one day I made a post on the internet and you commented about a different point of view. And I get offended. Like, nigga, get off my page. And you like, damn, this the same brother that was just having a high-powered conversation with me, talking about he's offended because his opinion. And the Constitution says that you got a freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech, man. We don't even give each other freedom of speech. We be asking the Caucasian for shit we don't give ourselves. Right? Like, you ask each other, we ask the devil for freedom, we don't give each other freedom. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, homie must be breaking up. Yo. Yeah, I'm saying, right, that we don't give each other freedom. The same freedom that we be wanting, we don't give it to each other. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm tired of that. I'm to the point where I'm giving everybody freedom.
Express their viewpoint, even if we don't agree, and
I can't hear you. Nah, you went out. You said a lot. I didn't even hear you. Like, the audio went out. He gonna come back. Listen, man. The homie tell the light-skinned people they not black. That's what the homie do. But listen, it's all good because, bro was my first caller and my first, guest on the show. And I'm glad he called in. A lot of people come in and they go out. But I feel like that this podcast is necessary and it's gonna mean something to some people. So, people calling in and adding on about how they see the topics that I'm discussing, I appreciate that and I need that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like today's topic, man, conversations versus discussions, a motherfucker that can't have a conversation will not go nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? I can't hear nothing in here. Hold on real quick. Hold on. That must be Bluetooth or something, man. There you go. My shit must have went to Bluetooth or something, man. I don't know what happened. Yo, I was saying, right, that this is wide scale. The internet is like a shield that people use to for protection. And I understand that because this shit is like therapeutic. You get to say what you want online.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you you're wrong, or nobody's gonna correct you if you're wrong, or nobody's gonna have a different opinion or belief.
Right.
And how do we? And I got this in your ass. How do we grow if nobody is checking us?
Yeah. I hope that audio wasn't playing that whole time, man. Hey, I think I might have been playing music over my whole recording.
So are you? What episode is this? I know you say you.
All right, I'm still a rookie, but look.
Okay. Oh shit. So what are you streaming on? Oh wow. Okay. That's what it is.
You know I'm an audio engineer in this motherfucker.
Oh, we know.
You looking at it at this angle, you can't tell, you know what I'm saying? I got the books.
That's what it is. Hell yeah. Peace to the God.
Piece of the guy, yeah, Hey, look. But I'm recording on Pro Tools right now. So even though I might have messed up on the YouTube right now, I still got the audio. So people just got to go to my thing and listen to it.
Where you upload your content at?
I'm uploading it on Spotify, on iTunes. I'm doing it through an app called Anchor. So I take all the recordings I'm doing and I'm gonna upload them on Anchor, and then that's where you'll be able to download it for yourself later and listen to it. That's why I'm trying to make these informative and not, what's the term I'm looking for? I don't want to make this like vain talk. I don't want to be talking about nothing on this motherfucker. When I get on here, I want somebody to take away something from this and come back, because we can't cover all the information in one show. I can't cover slavery in one show. And motherfuckers acting like they don't want to hear about this shit. Look, I can't cover the subject of freedom, justice, and equality in one episode. You know what I'm saying? So somebody might be hungry for everything, but look, we gotta spoon feed the audience right here.
Right. We can't give them too much they can handle.
Yeah. I mean, just like your opinion, like we a perfect example. You having a point of view. I'm not even gonna say an opinion. You have a point of view that is different than my point of view, right? At the same time, it's not gonna cause you or me to harm each other, right? To steal from each other, or to damage each other's property, or to not be able to work with each other to get something done. And that's the thing, we have to learn by example. So my thing is, I'm starting this thing, but I want this to turn into something where we go out of town and we buy some land, we get some carpenters together, some plumbers, some electricians, and we start buying land and building houses. Like we could get on the internet and talk about how to do this shit, but how we gonna get out of this shit? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm definitely on some shit right now to where, I'm just trying to. This is like the Boston Tea Party. Right now, we throwing the tea away. They got.
That's real though, because and I respect and I appreciate what you're doing, because I'm doing the same thing, and it's about having relevant conversations with people. Everybody may not come aboard as soon as we jump on it, but eventually it's gonna be there, and there's something to come back to, because it's a lot of platforms out here, but they're not talking about shit. They're talking about the same thing, interviewing the same Negroes, and it's nothing productive.
Yeah, and our predecessors, they see. Look, I'm gonna get you with what I'm on. I'm on law. Our predecessors talked about history. We got Dr. John Hendrick Clark. We got Dr. Diop. We got Allah. We got Malcolm. We got Elijah. We got Marcus. They talked about the past. Not Allah. Allah talked about now, because Allah said give it to the babies. But what I'm saying is, what we have to do is we have to look at the government. We have to look at the laws and the Constitution. We have to walk to the governor's office. We got to talk to the mayors. This is what we got to do. We got to be the ones that outline, okay, this is what America says, and this is what this. Now, what's the conclusion you get out of this? Like, the conclusion is up to you to determine, but as far as the education, everybody needs to know exactly what the 13th Amendment is, the 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment, 16th Amendment. Because if you don't know them, then you don't know your place in this country. You don't know your place in this country, because we are not part of we the people, and neither are women, and neither are Indians or anybody else. The only people that we the people meant was the Caucasian white man. And they have rules and acts and laws that they passed that only white men could own land in this country. And they passed it. And then they let us go after the fact of a lot of shit. So when black people think they free, and in the back of their mind, they not naive enough to think that.
Right, and that's the thing. We're not free. We're not slaves, but we just got privileges. That's all it is. You got some small minor privileges to move around on the plantation. That's it.
What privileges do you say we got?
I got the privilege of being in gym right now. I gotta pay for it.
Is that a privilege or is that a right?
I said it's a privilege. We ain't got no rights.
You ain't got no rights?
I got the right to die.
You got the right to live. I'm saying they not just killing us with the gun at birth. So you got the right to pursue life. Right? We got the privilege to drive. Right? But do you got the privilege to start a business in this country and to run it without the interference of some other higher up government official? Do you have the privilege of being able to own a land title without going through all kind of affidavits and all kind of shit? Most black people don't even know that they don't even know what a land title is. We pay mortgages. No, how many people own a house and have their deed in hand? Listen, I got a deed in hand, but I live in the ghetto.
Are you still in the D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we in the hood. And the thing is, nah, we ain't got the same privileges or rights. Why is potholes everywhere? It's trash everywhere. It's heroin everywhere. Privileges, you got to understand that privileges come after a certain line of civilization. Like our schools, if you had privileges, they would teach you why they really created the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment so you could have a true option. Because a traffic ticket, right? They send you and they charge your social security number on a traffic ticket. They don't tell you that you got the right to not have that. Right. They don't tell you that they created the federal prison system in 1890 or 1891. They freed slaves in 1863, but they didn't uphold Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, but they didn't like that shit. So they had to come with the 13th Amendment in 1865. But that came with an exception, which was if you get convicted, you go back into slavery. Okay, and how could you get convicted except under the federal statutes that were created? Man, listen, man. They never cut the slavery out. They kept it going. They just said, go get a job and pay your taxes and be a law-abiding citizen, and then you get privileges. But if you fuck up and loiter, if you litter, if you fuck around and jaywalk, if you get caught with a joint, if you get caught stealing a farm animal because you starving, we can give you 20 years. Because when you say citizens, it's 2 citizenship clauses in the Constitution. The first citizen is the Article 4, Section 2 citizen. We weren't citizens when this country was started. So there's 2 options of citizenship in this country. But they only give the black man one at birth, which is the 14th Amendment citizenship, which is birth and naturalization under the jurisdiction of the United States. If you don't sign that right there, then you're not under the citizenship that we under. So that's why a lot of immigrants, when they come here, they don't become citizens. They rather become permanent residents. Because as a permanent resident, you got the same rights and privileges that you had at home. But when you come here and become a U.S. citizen, you lose all your rights and privileges from your homeland, and you fall under the jurisdiction of federal statutes, which means if you get in an argument with your baby mama, the police come take your babies. Real shit. Called CPS, because the state is a trustee to your Social Security trust account. They're the trustee. So they have the ability to arrest you for things like statutes that are outside of the realm of common law jurisdiction. They created statutory law after they created the black codes. God, they had the black codes. They got rid of the black codes in 1866 and created the revised statutes of the United States in 1873. Okay, federal statutes were known as Common Law Statutes and Fugitive Slave Act. The Fugitive Slave Act was compiled into the United States Code. They just don't say it by the same language. Right. Like, so they get rid of the word fugitive. Oh, what's up, brother? The topic is conversation versus discussion. So me and brother here, we trying to be an example of how to have a proper conversation by when one person speaks, the other one listens. And if we take turns to do that, then we could get our point across better. So that's today's topic. Yup, Lil Mock in the building. Yeah, so, they changed the word fugitive to citizen. Okay, and then with the 14th Amendment, what that did is that created a corporation. A 14th Amendment is a corporation is a 14th Amendment citizen. A corporation is equivalent to a person or a public vessel. So what they did was they made you into a corporation. So the whole science is the laws, the federal statutes, corporations are under federal statutes. You hear what I'm saying? A citizen, a person, a regular natural person from the state is not under the jurisdiction of corporate law. Okay. So just like Joe Biden, when he said, I got a mandate, and it says you gotta wear a mask and get a shot if you go anywhere. Okay, and anybody that has over 100 employees has to get shots. Okay, that's because he could tell corporations what to do. Okay, the only way he could tell the people what to do is if the state agrees. So California agreed. They said, yeah, let's do it. Now you gotta have that paper everywhere you go.
Yeah, I got a religious resentment myself, so I ain't taking shit.
Man, listen. I tell them I'm a natural citizen. I don't have to do that shit. I'm a natural person.
What are they doing in Michigan? Are they having mandates or what?
I mean, no, but they act like they want to. But Michigan, the state law here is fucked up. It's fucked up, but the people here are with the business, and it's a lot of white people here that are like old school. You know what I'm saying? They, lifestyle up here is different, so they like more gridiron up here. Like California, they all fucking like to wear sandals and shit. Motherfuckers.
You ain't coming back, huh?
I'm coming back, but I ain't coming back today. The motherfucker talking about I need a mask everywhere I gotta go. Yeah, but listen, the whole science is if I'm a visitor, I don't gotta have the mask. Listen, if I'm a visitor of this state, I don't need to get a shot because I'm a visitor. That's the whole point. So I'm just about to visit, but I'm not gonna say I'm a resident. Fuck no. Nah.
I'm on your wave now. I'm really planning to get the fuck up out of here, dog. I'm ready to go now.
I told you years ago. I told you word for word. I said they gonna force everybody to get these shots. I said, and they not gonna let your children go to school without them. And this about 5-6 plus years ago, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is like 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago, bro.
This is like 2021. Yeah, this is like 10 years ago. We talked about this shit in like 2011.
At work, and I said, look, man, one day the government, they can snap their finger and tell you got to get a shot or you can't go to work. Right. And you was like, I remember back in the day, you was like, they can't do that, dog. I said, yeah, they can. Yeah, they gonna do it. They gonna do it. They gonna do it.
You know what's funny? I always use you as an example. Because you remember, you were telling me this shit. This is like 2008. We used to be standing in the parking lot at UPS, and you'd be like, you be gaming us up, and niggas be like, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. What you talking about? And then it's like, so it's like I tell people like, I had to learn, to listen. You feel me? And open your mind to truth. So when people tell me the same thing, like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I get it now. Because I was like, I was just like you.
Yeah, you wasn't really like that. I mean, the most defensive you got was when I was like, bro, you can't be eating that food up here, man. I said, look, man, you gotta go. I'm a move because I can't eat next to you, man. That shit smell bad. I said that shit stank right there. You was eating bologna. Listen, and everybody know. I hope everybody should know that you don't eat bologna or any type of bad food like that anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Yeah, that was you. You be like, nigga, you ain't not bologna
I
sandwich. You ain't bologna
listen.
sandwich with shrimp.
I sparked the beast, man. Cause I be on. Listen, I sparked the beast, man. You a beast out here, man.
I never forget that. But that's really what I use to humble myself. You feel me? And then we like, you done jumped my comments a few times. Like, nigga, I never you was still eating bologna sandwich. What the hell you talking about?
Boy, you be going hard. Sometimes you be going hard. I be like, he's a nigga forgot where he came from. You can't be talking to people like that, man. You got to be nice to the people. They don't know no better. You can't go hard on people that don't know no better.
Exactly. So that's the funny shit. But it's true though. You know, we all started from someplace. So it's good to always dig back in that. You know, to let other people know. You know, you can do it too. Even when like now, I meet a lot of plant-based people, right? Because you know that's big today. But I always be like, man, I know somebody that nigga that you know, you've been a vegan before this shit was even mainstream. You feel me? Even rapping about it on records. You know, so it's like, when people hit me with that, I'm like, you ain't saying what I don't know already. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, but you still got to hit him with that because that's still the number one killer of our people. So even though it's old news to us, when somebody talks about and wants to have a conversation like that, you gotta encourage it. You gotta be like, yeah, that's the shit, because you gotta root them on. You gotta tell them, good job. You know, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You saving yourself. You're not waiting for nobody else to come and cure you. And I had another topic earlier called prevention versus cure, about how people rather get the vaccine than change their diet and exercise.
They change their lifestyle, right?
You know, because they rather live this American lifestyle, and then it always goes back to the 13th Amendment. It always goes back to slavery. It always goes back to goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Right.
It always does. It's like, so we got to keep having.
The other day, I gotta come out there and get you on my platform. You definitely got a lot to say, and I want to highlight that. You know, with the beginning of my platform, I'm trying to highlight brothers and sisters that's doing the work, without looking for recognition. You know, or people that's just been doing the work, and it's relevant. It's not no theatrics. It's not no bragging, and it's not bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, right now, I said, fuck it, man. I might as well go viral because I've been doing it in the streets for real. And people like you can vouch for me. They say, yo, that brother there, he not just an internet person. He a true and living God. Like, he lived this. So it's people know that I live like this. And I want to show people how I live. And I want to talk to people about things I think about so they can see how, how basically we got to upper level ourselves. We got to start thinking upper class. We got to start thinking about things like books and shit that we read and have conversations about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And bring that type of conversation to the table, and do it every day. You know what I'm saying? To the point that we start having collective conversations every day, like white people walking down the street reading the newspaper. You know, come on, we could sit at the damn coffee shop in the morning, have a conversation, and go to work. We could talk, we could powwow. After work, we could have a nice walk through the ghetto. We could walk through the ghetto, have a nice conversation. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look outside, it's nothing to look forward to sometimes.
they took this one out right out of high school, they go to college. So you have these ideas, and you feel like you want to come and help, but it's like, do you even know how to start a conversation and engage with the people? You know, do you know how to look them in the eye, even if they might be stinking, they might not have no shoes, fingernails fucked up, no teeth? How do you sit up and serve these people without putting your bias? And how do you serve these people for what they need based off what you want to give them or what you feel, what you think they need, instead of just asking them, how can I help you?
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, right? Sometimes you got to just give them what you got. Because if you ask somebody what they need and you ain't got what they need, now it's like, damn, you searching for something you may not never find just to help another person. And you need to just give them what you got. Like, if you got money, give them some money. Or go buy something that they need. Get them some toothbrushes. Get them, you know, we can help the poor people and the people, the homeless, the whole nine. The thing is, God, how is that going to be on the wide scale if we can't even talk? Today's topic is the talking, right?
And that's the main thing that I tell my interns is that if you don't know how to engage people, you already lost.
Yeah.
If you take over conversation, and I mean not even just black people, with anybody, because what I've learned, like in the past 5-6 years doing this work, being back in it, I had to learn how to engage with people that I wouldn't even talk to in my personal life. Like how do I engage this white man, this white boy living in the park? How do I engage this indigenous person who, that English may be their second language? Even one thing, there was this European guy. He was from Romania, and so I had built a relationship with him. He started teaching me how to write a Gothic language. So he was teaching me to break it down glyphs, of a their language. And it's like, when we don't know how to engage people and just have a basic conversation, we lose a lot of information that we can get access to.
Yeah. Because you cutting the conversation short by being rude and shit. Hey, look, it's like I was at the post office the other day, and this lady was helping some Mexican man. And he didn't speak English well. She was like, look, just go sign this paper and come right back. He was getting his passport. So while he was signing his paper, she saw a lady that she recognized, and she was like, I know you from high school or whatever. And they was talking, and another lady in the line got mad. I'm talking about, she was like, I can't believe you about to just be in here talking and having conversations while nobody's in line. Well, I said, damn. She said, I'm waiting on the Mexican man to come back with his paper. Like, why is you tripping? She like, oh, nah, you could have helped somebody else, like just some straight Negro stuff. And I said, man, why does this woman have to do this, man? Like, it just made me feel like I'm embarrassed for her. Like, you making me feel like I look bad with you. Cause you look like you could be my auntie, and you acting a fool over this goddamn post office line. Why? Why you gotta act like a Karen? Well, look, how is a black woman gonna act like a Karen when you ain't in the position of Karen? How you gonna act like Karen? And Karen got it all. Karen got money. Her husband got a big dually truck. Her children all got college paid for. What the fuck is you trying to act like Karen for? Karen want to see you get hung. You want to act like Karen. You want to hang me. And then, it's not just the black woman. I don't want to just attack women because it ain't just women. But it's like, no black people should feel like they in the position of a Caucasian man. I don't want no black rights. Listen. I don't want to be treated right in this country. I want to be treated white. Okay, listen, I'm gonna break it down. I'll break this shit down. If you get treated right, that means you get treated like shit, because when this country first started, the right thing to do was enslave niggas.
Right. And that's the thing. Didn't we see that last year when they was playing cool with us and you like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, you treat me
Wait,
how you like to treat me.
wait. White people had the right to enslave us. It was legal.
It was legal.
It's still legal.
It was normal.
It's still normal. It's still legal.
Right.
So when you say I don't want rights, no. Oh, civil rights. Listen, the 16th Amendment. No, yeah. Let me think. Hold on. Let me get this right. Hold on, real quick. Let me look it up. Let me get on my computer. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 16th Amendment that gave us the right to vote.
No, I don't think it was
15th. 15th Amendment.
Yeah.
Yes.
15 or 14.
Listen, it's the 15th Amendment. Now, the 15th Amendment said citizens of the United States. The citizens of the states of the Union already had the right to vote. They was already voting.
Exactly.
So the 15th Amendment is for the United States citizen. But a United States citizen is a slave to the Congress. Word is bond. And the science is, what if we had the right to vote in 1870, then what the fuck was Martin Luther King having to fight so hard for? You feel me? And that's the point. A lot of people think that civil rights is the right to vote. It's not. It's not.
No.
It's the right to not be discriminated.
Right. And then the question is who was civil people?
Listen to what I'm saying. The civil power is always over the military power. The point is, if I want, why would I want civil rights? Civil rights only came because y'all are some devils. I don't need you to write that I have civil rights. I just need you to say I'm we the people. I'm we the people. Just that's all you got to write on paper. Black people are considered we the people. That's all you got to put. No, they did. No, they would have never had to make the 13th, 14th, 15th, or 16th Amendment if they would have just said one thing, because everybody already had those rights. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, bro. They said the 13th Amendment, we was free. They didn't have to say we was free. All they had to say was, hey, they're part of we the people. We the people are free. We the people are free. You don't have to say that these separate people are free. See, you see the wordplay? See, when you change the Constitution, you ratify it. Instead of a new amendment, why didn't they just ratify it? Exactly, because they never ended slavery. So yeah, but at least when you an immigrant, you don't have to be under the 14th Amendment citizenship clause still. Just because you're an immigrant don't make you a slave. You got to read the 14th Amendment. It says if you're born or naturalized here. So you could be an immigrant with a permanent residency in this country. You don't have to be a citizen. To call yourself a citizen, you can never be we the people. There's nobody that could be we the people is what I'm trying to tell you. You have to be born here to be we the people. We the people are from here. So when I'm saying we the people, all they had to do was ratify and say that we the people includes the people who just got free from slavery. And then we would have had the right to vote. We would have had the right to work. We would have had the right to be free with just that right there. You didn't have to make all these other amendments. They made them other amendments to put us in jail. So that's it. It's a big. So when I say don't treat me right, I don't want those rights. I want to be treated white. I want to be we the people. I don't want to be the right people, the people with the rights later that came later. I don't want them rights. Take them rights away and just call me we the people. Call me one of the people. I'm a natural person. I'm here. I was here first. I'm a slave. I am part of we the people. Abraham Lincoln in the Emancipation Proclamation said that slaves were free. He didn't come with any exceptions. There's no exception to the Emancipation Proclamation. And Abraham Lincoln said that all slaves shall be set free. He didn't say except for the punishment of a crime. That's what the 13th Amendment says. So we can't get it confused. The Emancipation Proclamation, that's what I'm under. I'm a free man. I'm not a 14th Amendment. I'm not 13th or 14th Amendment. No. When Abraham Lincoln said we was free, I was free. And that was that. All that extra shit, except for the punishment of a crime, nah, I'm not with that. I don't want those rights.
So you're saying you just want what's just?
I want just to be treated like a person. How do you treat other people? You treat them justly. I want to be treated like a real natural person. I don't want to be treated with disrespect. I don't want to have nobody trying to kill me, take my freedom away. I don't want my property to get damaged. I don't want nobody that I sign a contract with to break the contract. I want to be treated like every other natural person when this country was started. And when this country was started, I wasn't a natural person. Y'all called me a slave. But guess what? Abraham Lincoln said I'm a natural person now. So guess what? Fuck your 13th Amendment. Because guess what happened 5 days after the 13th Amendment got signed? He got shot in the fucking head after or 5 days after the Civil War ended. He got shot in his head. So what I'm saying is you got to understand the South won that war. How you going to tell me the North won and the president got whacked? So what happened was a compromise. They said, look, we going to free the slaves except for the punishment of a crime they get convicted, and we going to come up with a bunch of fucking crimes. And guess what else we not going to make it legal for them to do? Read. So these niggas ain't even going to know what crimes they committing because they can't read. It's only.
How can you talk revolution if niggas can't read or comprehend the map? So if I give you directions and you can't read the motherfuckers or comprehend to build something, what are we gonna do?
We've only had good books for less than 80 years.
And even with that, many of us, I'm a single black man. We can't read, bro.
Hold on. No. Listen. Everybody thinks that we're not advanced. We invented GPS, the cell phone chip, computers, everything you fucking see in less than 80 years. the light bulb in less than 80 years. We only had good books publicly for everybody less than 80 years, bro. You got to realize how advanced we really are and how much they truly hold us back. How much they truly hold us back. You can see within less than 80 years, we made refrigerating. You could refrigerate your food. There was a point in time in America where they couldn't even refrigerate their food. Or you had to store it right. You had to preserve it. This where you get sauce from. When they put sauce in a jar because they didn't have a refrigerator. Yeah, you got jelly. You got all this stuff that they put in jars and cans. Because they didn't have ways of putting their shit in the refrigerator. They didn't have a fridge. Most of their shit was spoiled on the truck. Black man invented a truck refrigerator. We invented everything. If you could show me, my bad. I'm just going to say, we invented everything. I mean, we invented the white man himself. The motherfucking island of Dr. Monroe. The island of Dr. Monroe. Oh, you never seen that movie? That's what I'm saying, man. Listen. They only 6,000 years old. That's all I'm going to say. That's a 6,000-year-old group of people. And within this 6,000 years, they've done a lot of death, hell, and destruction. So, you know, we got to see it for what it is. And it's time for us to, you know, clean up the house. It ain't about having a job and working. It's about having a skill. See, money not shit. Money is which we want to get the money now and buy something with it. Because one day, the money going to be gone. I mean, no, listen. Because if you did that, then they would have to get rid of the Constitution. And that's what you got to understand. When they made the Constitution, they said that the states can only deal with gold and silver. I got it right here. Bro. The states can only deal with gold and silver, man. Nah, they said the states cannot print anything for money. It says it right here. It says no state shall enter into a treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. So if you right now, if you didn't want to pay debt, you could tell the government or whoever you owe money to, you'll pay them when you get the gold. I ain't got the gold. Yeah, I'm about to sign off too, man. Yeah. If you ain't, I hit you on your DM. All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate you tapping in. Sane African 1 on Instagram. Peace. Yeah, man, he tapped in with the live, so that was real good. I appreciate my viewer. I got Pharaoh Davion in the building. You know, Davion Pharaoh. You know, he tapped in, and basically it was a good conversation, and we was about to get into some whole other shit about, you know, gold and silver being tender, and that the states cannot issue anything but gold and silver as legal tender. You understand what I'm saying? The states can't issue uh Federal Reserve notes. You know what I'm saying? So the money we playing with is fiat, and one day it could crash. So you gotta realize, what you playing with is you playing with fire. And this country is definitely it's up in flames. In the viewpoint of the black man. I don't know how everybody else sees it, but if y'all would have some empathy and just jump into my shoes, then you might see it how I see it and how so many of us see it. So y'all go ahead and tap in all on the business podcast. Oh man, appreciate it. This is on a podcast. You can follow my podcast, All on a Business, just like my name up top, All on a Business, and that's gonna be on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes. So once I get this edited up, I'm definitely gonna release it. You'll be able to download it. Take some notes, come back, ask some questions, join the live. And just be interactive. So I appreciate you tapping in. Y'all follow me on social media at All on a Business. Real simple. And other than that, one love. Peace.